when you get jobs based on merit, you're limitless. So you don't have to depend on people. You don't have to suck up to people just to get jobs. I got that chance as a young person, but I had to do a lot of work. You don't doubt yourself. The fact that you're being asked to do that means that you're capable. So there are ethics in our work. The ethics is quite simple. Tell the truth. If you're prepared for the job, you don't get intimidated by the person, because there's a job. It's like you're fighting a war. There's a mission at hand and you have to do the mission. So stay focused. Journalists are not poor. Journalism is viable, please. It's information. There are millions of ways to make money as a journalist. Don't chase the money. The money will come. There are lots of things to fix in our country. So please, if you're a young person watching me, join Gentleman of the Press. Let's do a lot of work, okay?
Hello, my people. Welcome again to another fantastic episode. This is the MTN Career Series, and today we're going to be talking to a change maker, someone that has made a huge difference in his line of work. I'm very excited for this conversation, but before I even let you know who I will be talking to, my name is Ria Abdul, and it's definitely going to be a fantastic conversation. Today, I have an ace presenter right here with me. I like to call him a legend when you talk about journalism and also an on-air personality. He's amazing. Like, what you love about him, that he's very audacious. There's this little secret I'm going to tell you about him. He walked into a radio station and told them that you have to employ me because I'm good. Like, how many people do that? So let's welcome, with a lot of energy, excitement, happiness, Kayode Okikiolu of Channels TV.
Wow, all that for me?
Chop knuckle.
Okay, well, I have legends, so I'm not sure about the legend bit, but
no, but I
thank
see you
very
as a
much.
legend. I think you're really fantastic at what you do before we even start off the conversation.
Wow, that
So
means
big
a
ups.
lot. Thank
Yeah.
you very much. And it's good to be here,
Definitely,
really.
it's really good to have you here. But like, I just want to go deep into it. You know, out of 7 children, you're the last. So of course you are, in Ghana we say baby last, you were pampered. You know, take me through growing up. How was growing up like for you?
You did your research. What more do you have of me, though? A lot. Okay, growing up was great. I enjoyed growing up. Thanks to my siblings and parents. I think it's one of the best things that can happen to you in life. To be a last born. So you have people to learn from, you have people to hand you down stuff, you have people to discipline you as well. But thankfully you have your parents also, protect you. So that gave me the opportunity to learn different personalities. So I have a bit of everybody, for example, and I think that helps me to handle people. I'm able to just look at you and judge, this is your temperament, this is how you're coming at me, so this is how I should respond. So I think being a last born, something I'm grateful for.
Over and over again.
Over and over again. So thanks to my parents and my siblings as well.
Yeah.
But I totally enjoyed it.
Yeah. But what are some of the values that they installed in you that up till now you still live by? I'm talking about family.
Oh yeah, a lot. And I think family is important. I think that's like the foundation of life, really. For my parents, honesty, good character. My parents would tell me, just tell me the truth. Okay, what's the worst that could happen? My parents don't hide things from you, for example. They don't hide money. My mom literally puts the money out there. If you want to take it, take it. Let me be sure that my child took it. So that really helps to build good character, godliness as well. Pray every morning and at night. So you don't miss it.
You still do that till now?
I don't stay with them anymore.
But do you still?
Oh yes, definitely. I still try to do that as much as I can, in spite of my busy schedule. But that helped me to understand that, hey, you have a source. You're not here just by random chance. So I think that really helps to build who I am today. Thanks to my parents, really. You don't miss prayer. Even if you sleep, you wake up. There's that alarm that just wakes you up.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely.
Amazing. Shout out to mom and dad, and shout out to family as well. But let's get into it. University of Ibadan, psychology. You're a journalist. When did it switch?
How did it happen?
Right?
I need to get that book that you have on me. So I could just... But yeah, so my story is quite interesting.
Yeah.
I was a science student, right? Because my siblings, all of them, science, medicine, engineering, and stuff. So I naturally thought, hey, I'm made for this. So I got into sciences, and I realized sciences was not sciencing for me, if there's anything like that. So I went for my A-levels. I was busy doing titration, but I knew that it wasn't working out. So I went for my A-levels, and somehow I got into social sciences class, and I just sat in it, and I'm like, this is where I really want to be. So I told my parents, Well, the major hurdle was my mom. When you sort things out with your mom, fathers
You're good
are,
to go,
it's
yeah.
not a big deal. So my mom says, no problem. As far as you're happy, do it. So I did my social sciences and finished A levels. I was going to go into UI prior to that time for industrial engineering. I think I was this close to getting in, but something happened, and then my mom said, just stay back. So I went back, did my A levels, went to social sciences, then I took JAMB again. And somehow I read about psychology, and I like the idea of reading people as a last born, right? I enjoy reading people and spending time with people. So I thought, let's do psychology. Aside the fact that it makes me feel like a detective, just I feel cool, like I'm a private investigator. So I took psychology, and thankfully my A levels worked, so I got into 200 level. So I think that was like the building block for me, because media is about people, right? We're not broadcasting to machines, and you know this well. We broadcast to people, so you need to understand how people think, how they process information, where they're at, so you meet them halfway or almost where they're at. So I think psychology helped me with the people bit, but then I still needed to work on the operational part of it. Thankfully, I had a good voice, so people naturally put me in the box. You have a good voice, so do voiceovers. You have a good voice, do announcements. You have a good voice, do music. Well, thankfully, I started writing music early as well, so that helped me with the production bit. So I learned to produce, learned to do studio stuff. So everything just came together all of a sudden. So I started doing voiceovers. People say, I love your voiceovers. People say, no, you are whispering. Speak up. Don't use bedroom voice. So I had a lot of people, but it was in church. All of that was in my church. That was my building space as well. It's a long story, but let me just cut to the chase. So I went for service, and I was put in OBS. That's the orientation broadcasting. Is it service? I think that's what it is. And I became the studio manager. That's what it is. So I didn't have to go to parade. I was lounging, right? People are running to parade, and you're walking the other way because you're the boss in that sense, because you had to do announcements, right? Not because of anything. So eventually I finished orientation, and they put me in a radio station because I'd proven myself. Don't forget, I'd learned studio production. I learned a lot of production, voiceover. Then I was OBS head, and I did very well. So they put me in EBBS. I served in Ebonyi State, Salt Radio, and Salt FM rather than Salt TV. And that was where it really picked up. I did so much work there that I was literally opening the station at, I think, 5 a.m. The bus would pick me up. I had the keys, open the station, play the national anthem, do the announcement. There was the, motivational stuff. So ABBS was a major ground for me. So I was doing the news, I was doing game shows, I was doing a lot of stuff. And I could make mistakes there. Nobody knew me in Ebonyi State. So I learned a lot. Thanks to Mr. Donatus, who was the station manager. And then things picked up from there. I finished my service. You said something before we came on, so I'm not going to say all of that. I'll allow you dig it, but that's really how it started.
But a young, handsome guy.
Amen.
You just finished. You were trying to get into the media. If there's anything, I know that you were very audacious when you came to Lagos, Nigeria, because you know how Lagos is. It's the place. It's either eat him, eat her. Like, can you make yourself like stand out? And I know that you were very, very bold. Probably because you knew you had the talent. Probably because you knew that you had learnt a lot. Because it's very weird for someone to walk to a TV station or a radio station and say, you gotta employ me, I have the talent, and you were listened to. I also know that you were somebody that you didn't struggle to look for a job. You didn't. Like, you got it on a silver platter as well. So, I just want you to take me through when you came to, Lagos to start broadcasting.
Okay. Again, it's a long story, but let's just keep it short. So I finished my service, I think October-ish, towards the end of the year. I think I traveled on my birthday, actually. So I finished my service, and I wanted to stay back in Ebonyi State because they wanted me to stay back. Then I thought about it. You're done with this phase. I think it's time for you to go to the world. So I grew up in Ibadan, so I went back to Ibadan, and there was a Beat FM in Ibadan then. I had gone to Beat FM before that time, before I went for service. I did the audition, but then I had to go for service. I didn't get the job, basically. So I went back. Like, now I'm Starboy, that mentality. Not Starboy in that sense, but I had the experience, right? Yeah. Again, it wasn't easy. And I think if something is too easy, then it's probably too good. You probably should challenge yourself. But I had to psych myself up. I had to get my CV together, rehearse my line, because I knew that I had just a few minutes to make an impression. So I got in, I knocked at the gate. The gate man allowed me. And thankfully, I think I found a way to convince him. Good voice and good courage. I was respectful. Then I got to the what's that thing called again?
The MCR?
Nah,
The reception?
The reception, thank you very much. And I met Laura. And I go, well, I understand you have an opening. So I'm here to, fill in the opening. And she looks at me like, what's going on? Who are you? But I think I found out that they had an opening, right? Somehow. Or maybe I was just audacious. I can't remember. I was younger then. And she said, okay, wait a minute. Because I was too bold to get a no. So she calls the station manager and she says, send him in. And then I talked to her, Vicky, then that's her name. And she goes, okay. And I think she wrote something on a paper and gave it to me.
Employ him.
Well, it wasn't employ him. It was an address for the headquarters of the radio station in Lagos. Okay. So I had to travel to Lagos, I think, the next day, a few days after, for an interview. So I go to Lagos, do the interview, and I get the job. So I resumed the next week. So I literally didn't stay at home after service. Wow. So I was on the road. I got the job.
That's some story.
It is, right? I look back and I'm like, were you high? I was high on determination. But it just goes to show that a lot of times the opportunities are waiting for you. Sure. We just sit back and expect, okay, I need to know someone. But I didn't know anybody, to get the job. So most times, or a lot of times, we actually need to go out there and take it by the jugular. Okay, don't be that violent.
There's a Bible verse like that. I'm not too religious, but I say, are you religious?
You can
what's
try
the Bible verse? Help us. They
Which
said,
one are you looking for?
The kingdom of God taketh it by violence. Did I get
violence?
Yeah. So
and the violence taken it by force.
By
what a way to use that verse! But yeah, I think it goes without saying.
And that's just beautiful. And Okiki, your story has just been amazing. Another thing again that I noticed is that I'll say that in as much as you put in a lot of work, you were bold, I feel like the grace of God also was a lot on you. If I want to speak about the highlights of, you, the Okiki brand, I will speak about the fact that you were on some of the biggest shows before you even clocked 30. Yeah. People's media careers really start at 30.
Okay. You're digging stuff for me again. Yes, and I think that, I wouldn't say it's me, really. There's a lot of times I look in the mirror and I'm like, is this all? My wife looks at me sometimes and says, if only the world knows what I see behind the scenes. But it's just grace, right? So did I tell you I got the job at Channels?
No, we've not spoken about that yet. I know that you just went to you dropped it and they called you.
Exactly. Almost the same thing. I just went to the gate, I dropped my CV. It was just a page. I didn't do I didn't put any cover letter, any introduction, any reference. It was just a page. I'm telling you, a page. I didn't even put in too much work. And I got a call the next week. Anyway, so I start working in Channels. And I think when you get jobs based on merit, you're limitless. So you don't have to depend on people. You don't have to suck up to people just to get jobs. So it takes two to tango, I should say. So you are driven and then you get to an organization that gives you a chance. So it's just fantastic. It takes two hands to clap, right? But obviously the two hands have to be willing to clap. So that was me and then my organization giving young people a chance. So I get a call one day that you're doing politics today. I'm like, say that. I'm sorry. This is okay. So at that time, there were 3 Kayodes in the office. There was a Kayode legal, there was another Kayode, an anchor, and there was me. So sometimes, I get mails that are not meant for me. Yeah. Right? In fact, there was another person who had K as a first name and initials. So I'm like, please check the number again. This is Kayode Okikiolu that joined the organization, I think last year or 2 years ago. And they go, yes, it's you. I'm like, okay. And I've learned that when things like that happen, you don't doubt yourself. You just take it on. Yeah. The fact that you're being asked to do that means that you're capable to an extent. Yes, there's a lot of work that goes into that. So what I did was I started watching the show, started doing my research. And then the first time on the show, I did it and 30 minutes was over. Yeah. Like just like that. It was so cool that while I was doing the show, they had to increase the duration of the show to 1 hour. So now the show is 1 hour. Because 30 minutes just seemed too short. You're done again. I'm like, what? And that didn't just happen. It took a lot of preparation. I was telling you that I've been up since 2 a.m. So that's the part of this job people don't see. They just see you.
5.
Yeah, they just say hello and welcome to the show. And they're like, great guy. You probably just woke up like this. But no, it takes a lot of work. So for the 30 minutes show, you probably do like 8 hours prep. or years of preparation or days. So these things add up. So you have your residual knowledge and then your research work. So yes, I got that chance as a young person, but I had to do a lot of work just to ensure that I represent other young people.
A young guy on TV doing politics today, and we all know how Nigerian politicians are. How was it like for you asking the difficult questions? Because you could not be on the show and then you were like, okay, this is head of state, I need to be careful. You needed to be audacious even while asking the questions. Yeah. So how was that like for you?
First, it was humbling that I had the opportunity to sit on that chair or that seat. Very hot, I should tell you. But the fact that I had 200 million Nigerians behind me, and all of them. So this is how it works. You're interviewing someone, not as you, but as Nigerians, because Nigerians want answers to questions. What are you doing to fix this? It's not about me, it's about Nigerians. So first, I didn't put myself in that seat first. I put Nigerians in that seat asking. So what I was just doing was the channel. Little wonder we're called channels. Yeah. Get that. So I think you might, and this comes with time. And it comes with preparation as well. If you're prepared for the job, you don't get intimidated by the person, because there's a job. It's like you're fighting a war. Hey, you're not looking at the enemy. Yeah. What you want to do is, well, the politician is not the enemy, but basically, you have a job to do. There's a mission at hand, and you have to do the mission. So stay focused. Don't get personal. Be respectful. I think that's something that is quite tricky these days. I tell you, no. Don't be respectful. Speak to them anyhow. But you're the host at the end of the day, and you, no matter what, there should be that level of respect. Yes, I'll tell you to your face that, well, that is not correct. This is what the fact is. If I have the fact, I'll tell you this is what the fact is. If I have information, I'll tell you. If I need to put your feet to the fire, I will. Because again, I am speaking on behalf of the people. So it's a mix of different things, really. But never be intimidated. Because, hey, if you're intimidated here, you go out there. The people will get.
This brings me to what I wanted to discuss with you next. So still young guy, you did Sunrise, if I'm correct. You did the morning show as well. Sunrise. You did the news at 10, and these were prime shows. You also did politics today, and I know that in as much as people are, oh, Kiki, you're good and everything. Let's not lie. We're in Nigeria. There's still that iota of the politics, the jealousy, the competition, and all of that. So at any point, do you think that you face that? While, okay, they just put Okiki on, politics today. I know you were prepared for it, you were ready for it, but, don't you think there were other people that also wanted to do what you were doing?
Interesting question. And I get this a lot. Again, I listen to people talk about their organizations, and I sit back and I'm like, okay, when next I get to my office, I'll look out for these things. Yes, they always say there's no perfect organization, but I've gotten so much support from my organization. It is a lot
colleagues?
From my colleagues.
All your colleagues?
Yeah, all my colleagues actually. So this is how the newsroom works. There's you, the anchor. There's the production team. There's the editor. There's the MCR, the people in the studio. So it's a lot of work really, and everybody knows that if I drop the ball, I'll make a mess of the show. So first, everybody has to do their jobs. So
but no, okay, I'm not even talking about those people. I'm talking about people that are like, okay, maybe it was supposed to be me next to do politics today. Why is Okiki doing it? I'm not even talking about people, the MCR that need to make sure that the show is a banger, but the office politics with the humans themselves.
Well, I think that there was so much work to do, or still so much work to do, that you don't get engrossed and stuff like that. Okay. So this is how it works again, and that's what I was trying to explain. Everybody has a job to do. Even the people you might think would feel jealous have their work to do. They have their work cut out for them. So rather than look and say, no, that should be me, you're like, no, come and take my job, or at least let me, you get. So there's a lot of work to do. It's the news, right? You're either on the road covering stuff, or you're writing a story, or you're chasing a lead. There is a lot to do. So if you have little time to rest and you're thinking about that, no, I didn't experience, and I'm being honest. So 2 things. Maybe I didn't notice, but I think I'm perceptive enough to notice things like that. But I'll tell you this, I got a lot of support right from the top to people I work with. And I must say this, yes, it is a lot of work. You can't work in Channels TV and just be there random. Bro, sorry, sis. You work in channels TV, you're well-rounded.
Yeah.
I can do anything. I can handle the camera. I can edit. I can do literally anything in the organization, and that's what channels is for. So in that kind of setting, there's way too much for you to do than to just sit idle and start saying
Okay,
that should be
so
me.
this way I'll get you. Let's talk now.
You're trying to get me. All right, bring it on.
Let's talk out of channels TV. We see a lot of comparisons.
Yeah.
And there's no way you tell me that you've not experienced that. You know, you see this one like, oh no, Shenwoki is better than this person. Oh no, Ruben Abat is better. I see a lot of comparison between even Shenwoki and what's the other one's name? Is it not Rufai? You know, there are a lot of comparison. How do you deal with that? And there's no way you tell me that you've not experienced that, because this is not even, I'm not talking in the box of channels TV now. We're taking it outside channels TV.
I wish I could show you my phone. So we were together, three of us, me, Rufai, and Sheom, I think last week.
Okay.
This is kind of like what happens with politics as well. So you are on social media, you know, going at yourselves.
Okay. I love this. I love this.
I wish I could show you the pictures of my phone. That.
I'm joking. And you guys are
No,
all friends.
don't do that. I mean, we're at an event together at a training. Now we talked, we took pictures, we had a great time. I know these things are out there. I see these
They
comments,
are out there.
and I think, hey, everybody has the right to say what they want to say, and you have a right to internalize it your way. But I think the most productive way is to see all of that and still focus on the job, be professional. Come on, we're doing a job here. It's not. I don't even want to sound. I don't want to mention any other profession, but we're doing a job. So again, I will show you the pictures.
I really want to see.
Yeah.
So you see, we're fighting on social media. Rufai is better than this.
No,
this
I know it's good for content, it's good to trend, but let me tell you, it's one small industry. It's one very tiny industry. I'm telling you, very small. So I think you'll be doing yourself a huge disservice if that's what you're focused on. Hey, come on. Please have better things to do.
You had that. But now you are Okiki, you know, doing well. I safe to say you have made it. You know, how are you able to balance who you are now and family? Because, you know, I know at some point it was a bit difficult for you because of the kind of person that you are. So how has it been like, you know, putting those two together, wifey, your child? I don't know if there's another one now.
Yeah, two
Oh,
daughters,
there's two now.
beautiful daughters.
Oh, amazing. You know, how are you able to blend with that?
First, shout out to my wife. B, I know you were downstairs. She brought me here. She drove in spite of the traffic and all. So, man, I love you. That's
God
not the
win.
that's I know, but I have to say this because it makes life easy for me, right? I don't know what my life would be like if I didn't have a wife as supportive as my wife.
I'm just going to cry.
But I'm being real. I'm being real. So that makes life easy for me. I work around the clock. So when I'm not working at work, I'm working at home, or I'm working outside of home. So it's a lot of work. And my wife has her work too. She has her business, she has her NGO, she has the family, but she still finds a way to help out. I'm not an absent dad, right? I still spend a lot of time, but my wife just helps me to find that balance. So she fills in the gap when I'm not able to. So if there's assignment to be done, and maybe I'm coming home late or I'm not around, she fills in. But if I'm around, hey, uncle, let's do the assignment together. By the way, we have assignments that we've not done for next week. So so my wife helps, and I think being intentional as well, as much as you can, also helps. So all those little I'm sorry, I don't mean to tension anybody, but giving a hug or a kiss before you go to work.
Kiki is such a lover boy.
No, I'm just so I'm learning, by the way. I'm also learning, so I'm just sharing. Okay, this is experience sharing. So those little things also help. So that way you don't take it for granted that this person loves you. That way you keep feeling that. But it's not easy to balance it. I think I've said it time and again that journalism takes a lot from you because there's a lot of expectation. My messages are a mess. If I've not replied to your message, please forgive me. But yes, there's a lot of information you have to process, lots of leads. It's a lot, but hey, we have to do what we have to do.
All right. But talking about journalism, do you think that it has lost its course in Africa? This is why I say this, you know. Sometimes we feel like it's either it's false news that's coming out, it's either it's false news that it's selling. You know, it's some people are not even, when they see African stories, they're not even sure, like, is this credible? Is this true? You know, do you think journalism has lost its course in Africa or Nigeria?
So first, this is a global issue.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fake news everywhere, misinformation, disinformation.
But don't you think that's what sells more in Nigeria, or that's what?
I think it sells anywhere. Anything that has conspiracy attached to anything that just gets people talking outside of the ordinary. I mean, people don't want to hear good news, for example. People want to, well, they're looking for good news, but they always say that bad news sells faster because when you hear 100 people died, and it's just a human nature. You feel that sympathy, like 100 people died. There was an earthquake. It's just a human thing, rather than 100 people did not die. Right, that's what happens every day. Actually, 100 people died, but maybe 1 million people did not die. So, I mean, that's a given. People will always gravitate towards that. So when there's a little bit of fake news that raises that, people naturally gravitate towards it. The US elections is coming now, and you'll have seen the amount of misinformation, fake news, and disinformation. Thankfully, AI has now come to
Keep everybody in check.
he has raised the stake. So that's everywhere. In Nigeria, we have a peculiar situation. I know they always say we're a developing economy, but we're just peculiar, right? We've done something for centuries, and then we're trying to transition to something else, democracy. I mean, we've had our system of governance, and then you have by the way, we've always had journalism. Now, we had the town criers. Again, it's a different ball game, right? It's not what you have now that is privately owned. Town criers were basically the government telling you things. And then you had gossips within communities. People sit down around their palm wine center. So these are things we've had in our own, tradition, our structure, our system. But then we're trying to now imbibe the Western. Again, there's a debate out there. I don't want to get into that. But has it lost its use, or definitely not. And that's why we keep reinventing. For example, I'm a gentleman of the press because I'm trying to change that narrative and really show people that you need news. Okay, and for as long as we're here on earth, you have to just do the news. You have to do the news. So we keep pushing out the right information. I debunk fake news, for example, misinformation, disinformation. So no, it has not lost its cause, aside the fact that it's our bread and butter.
Okay.
But more importantly, it's for development.
But what about corruption in the media space as well? We cannot, speak about that without it, and especially for what you do, the politics show, speak to politicians here and there. I don't want to go deep into that, but like
Please
corruption.
do.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, corruption in the media space as well, when it comes to, you hear that, this TV station or this particular person has taken this from this person, so they cannot ask all the questions they want to ask and all of that. What's your take on that as well?
So there are ethics in our work, and it goes back to the point I was making about me sitting to interview someone not as me, and doing it as Nigerians. So the ethics is quite simple. Tell the truth. It's very simple. Ask the right questions. Balance when you ought to. So it's very simple. Once you're able to do your job, I think all of the things will be added onto it, right? I work with Channels Television, and we are a network built on trust. We didn't actually call ourselves that. We were called that by international bodies. We're network built on trust. So you have that trust. The moment you lose that trust, nobody watches you again. So the thing that brought you to that point, and then you decide to compromise, you lose it. So what's next, right? You don't have anything. So that's the principle that guides us. I know that there have been reports here and there, but I want to say that at least from where I sit, there is that. I mean, we don't joke with ethics at all. So that's why I can ask. There are times I've gone for interviews and I'm like, I love you, my wife. If I don't come back, it's okay, because you ask questions and you know that these questions need to be asked. These questions, yes, will get you in trouble. I just put up a video recently, and I know that it will get me in trouble in that sense. But as far as I'm asking the right questions, I'm speaking the truth. I know that first, I can go home with my conscience clear. I can say, God, I've done the right thing. They said that something will kill a man, right? But if it's not your time, you wouldn't die. So what's the point living a life that is below par because you are trying to take inducements? Why not live it to the fullest? Hey, everybody's gonna die, right? At the right time, I expect. So yes, there will be few bad eggs, absolutely, and you find that everywhere, even in spiritual settings.
But it's so beautiful to see that you have this ethics that you hold on to. But we know that there are people that they buy them. We see some lavish lifestyle that we know that is not the manifestation paying you, or you're living life above the means. So how have you been able to stay with your ethics, and just not see what's happening, not wanting all the glitz, all the glamour, and just know that there's God, I have my conscience.
I think contentment is important. I ride a scooter, for example. Yeah, I ride a scooter.
Okay, well, you have your cars.
I said cars. My wife brought me here, so.
So what are you trying to say?
I ride
don't
a scooter.
Be too modern.
No, I'm for real.
So
you don't see my content.
Well, wait, no. So that's your only source. That's your only source of movement.
Well, that's what I ride to the office. Oh, by the way, the scooter is not for social media.
Okay.
It's actually my mobility. It's been that for since COVID, I think.
But you have your cars. You have your fleet of cars.
Well, I can neither confirm nor deny that, but I tell you, I ride a scooter. That's what I ride. And then my wife brought me here. She has her car.
Yeah.
I don't have a car. So yes, I ride a scooter. Since you asked, I'll just tell you.
No, wait, let's say that again. Repeat that again for my viewers at the back.
No, I don't think it's nothing to be proud of.
Why don't you want a car?
Because it's not practicable, at least at this point for me. I don't know. Must you have a car?
No, but Okiki, no. A car is a necessity. It's not the want.
So I have a scooter that takes me around, takes me to the office.
So what about when you're not going to the office, you're going to other places?
My wife drove me. I take a taxi.
No.
Okay, I'll invite you to my. I'll invite you to my house.
No, but really, you're not. You cannot tell me you don't have the money to buy a car. So maybe it's just a personal thing you don't want.
Yes, I said it's not practicable, particularly now. Oh, by the way, my scooter is a seller, because people see my scooter and they're like, "Oh, this is the man that saw the future." No, for real. I mean, I imagine filling my wife's car. I bought. I can't remember how much, but I bought like maybe 70,000, or I can't remember how much I spent. I'm like, come on.
Okay, wait. I want to get something straight. So you're saying that you don't have a car because you don't want a car, or you don't have a car because it's going to be expensive maintaining a car? Which one?
I don't have a car because it's not practicable. So my wife and I sat down and thought about it. So we had 2 cars before, and we gave one out. And we're like, what's the point, right? You fuel 2 cars, you maintain 2 cars, and then you have, and that's what will push most people to then compromise, because clearly your bills are looking at you and saying, if you like, don't get money to come and sort me. So that's what happens. There's a lot of pressure. There's rent. For example, you get an apartment that is quite expensive, you get a car, you have your lifestyle, right? I don't want to tell you private things, but I'm sure if I told you some things, you'll be shocked. But the point is, just look at your life and say, is this practical? If it's not, cut it. Don't care what people think about you. By the way, my scooter is now cool. People now want to get scooters because I'm just living my life. Again, it's not easy. There are times that the rain will beat me.
It can't be easy.
And I'm like, but as I said, it's practicable to have a scooter. And I don't have, I fuel my scooter, and for weeks, I don't have to buy petrol.
But wait, let me say this. Okay. So I'm being practical now. So for other, not even about you, for other people, imagine not owning a car because of, fuel and everything. And then you see someone that's ready to say, oh, Kiki, come and take this Range Rover tomorrow. Or come and take this Benz tomorrow. Then these are where your ethics fall and correct.
Thank you very much. So who is that person? Is it my father? Or is it someone, is it strings attached?
Wow.
As I said earlier on, be content. That will help you. So if you are, the Apostle Paul says, I've learned to abase and to abound. So if you've learned to just live within your means. And I think my wife is a big champion of this, by the way. You think I'm this?
I'll definitely go down and say hi to her.
You should meet my wife, right? So that helps me just, my head is right. Like, I don't need this, right? I don't carry my wallet around, right? I don't carry cash around. Because if you carry cash around, you spend cash, right? So my wallet is usually with my wife, where my ATM is, not because of anything. First, it's a lot of work carrying my wallet, but basically just live within your means. I don't think that's too much to ask for. It is not easy.
It's not easy.
It is not
to be
easy.
Practical is actually
yes,
not
there are
easy.
times I maybe buy things on impulse. I'm like, why did I buy that, right? But just always reset and say, if I don't need this, cut it out.
But let's talk about journalism with you financially. Is it the money? Is it a lot in the bank account? Like maybe you're saving for something very big.
Do I look like it's viable?
Well, let me check very well. I think this. Well, yeah.
I look like it, right? So yes, it is. I work in an organization first that pays attention to remuneration, things like lunch, daycare and stuff. So it takes two to tango, as I said. So it's not just enough for you to come with all of the excellence and drive. If you find a good organization, fantastic. So that on the one hand gives me a sense of, okay, calm down, right? And the beauty about life is you can always explore within what you're doing as far as it's not competing. So for example, I'm a journalist, and I can always do other things, right? Because I'm talented, right? I have a voice, I have a brilliant mind. I can do a lot of things. I've told my wife that even if I'm a conductor, I'll make sure that I do it. I'll be corporate conductor. I'll do my conductor.
Financially, would you advise, let me say, your young daughter to financially, looking at financial, to do journalism? Do you think she can live and feed and take care of herself, family, and everything from journalism?
Yes. Okay, let's start again.
Okay.
Journalists are not poor.
I think we're
not the richest.
Yeah.
Definitely. And because obviously you have to, I mean, if you chase money, it'll be tough for you to chase the truth sometimes. Well, there are people who can balance it. And I think it takes time. It takes mastery for you to be able to balance it. And thankfully, there are people in the industry that have learned that. My organization, for example, my boss, his wife, they've been able to learn that. So that's why they are able to produce people. There are lots of people who've passed through us. So journalism is viable, please. It's information. There are millions of ways to make money as a journalist and still staying with the truth. So you put out information and you have the eyeballs. You know what eyeballs mean.
Yeah.
Eyeballs are expensive. People don't know. So yeah, it's viable, really. There's lots you can do. So please come. There's a lot to be done, actually. Eyeballs are really expensive. Yeah. So basically, when you do your job, all other things will be added onto it. I think I said that before. I think a lot of people want the money first without doing the work. But see,
the fame as well.
Yeah, the fame comes. Funny enough, I'm not really about the fame.
Yeah.
I don't even think, I think journalists should be celebrities because we're responsible for news that millions watch. If our news was like streams, for example, imagine how much, we're celebrities. So I think don't chase the money. The money will come. Again, if you're content, you can manage whatever comes and you can build it, you can save, but there are lots of things to fix in our country. So please, if you're a young person watching me, join Gentleman of the Press. Let's do a lot of work, okay?
I like that, Gentleman of the Press. But if there was anything you could change in the media space in Nigeria, what's it going to be? If you had the power one morning that you could change something.
Can I change like 2 or 3 things?
Oh, yeah, fine. I want to hear.
Thank you. First, I think remuneration for my colleagues, in other parts. Because I think I've heard stories, I've experienced, I've seen, heard.
A lot of stories as well.
Yes. But, these things are there. And I think sometimes it's a challenge with the model. Sometimes it's also... All right. So please, after I say this, just understand I'm saying it from a place of love and truth. Yeah. I think it's also as a result of the environment. So people want a product and they're not paying for it. It's a no-brainer. He who pays the piper dictates the tune. Again, it takes people who are grounded, who know the work to be able to separate these things. For example, where I work. But what you find is most times when people do the work and they realize that first, the same people you're trying to tell stories for are the same people bashing you, making jest of you, making fun of you. After a while, they're like, this thing is not working. Okay, fine. Let me look for other means. So I think our community should decide and say, we want news, right? We want information. We want to hold government to account and want journalists that will do that. Then we need to support journalists. So when you're scrolling through a website and you see support the good work and you just click no, you don't even read it. But don't forget that there are people behind the scenes who are spending their time, their finances, they're spending themselves to bring you that news. So I think it's important for us as a people to also, we buy food because we see food as a necessity. We buy data because we need data. So we should also buy news as a people so that we can control the narrative for development rather than leave it out there for anybody to just, control. Yeah, the celebrity status for journalists, I think we should give journalists premium. So any next journalist you see, celebrate them. Yeah. Take pictures with them. Just say thank you for the good work you're doing. I'll have said squeeze something into their hands, but that might be seen as a brown envelope, right? But just show appreciation.
Them,
yeah, I need to change that mentality people have. Thankfully, again, it works well for us. People see me and they're like, "Hi, Kayode."
Yeah.
But there are a lot more people that are doing great work and they're not recognized. So if I'm able to change that mentality, I think I would. And more protection
Lastly, more protection.
for journalists. Yeah, more
But do you
protection.
think Nigerian journalists are protected at all? Are they?
Well, the system is a system.
Yeah.
So it's the same for the average Nigerian. So it's what the average Nigerian gets that the journalist will get.
But do you
Fine.
think they need more protection?
Oh yeah, clearly. That's why I'm saying that it's just a function of a system. So if we're able to ensure the system is a protecting system, then naturally it will protect everybody. So I don't want journalists to just be protected and the people are not protected. So I don't want a policeman to see me and say, Augasa,
Yeah,
go.
you can go.
And then the next person coming, most times I stay. I was in a taxi, right? And, the policeman, there are great policemen out there, but the policeman was trying to play funny business and he expected me to come down and leave. I said, no, if I came down, I went to meet the Oga because nobody is safe until we're all safe. So yes, journalists need more protection, but it's a systemic thing.
Amazing, beautiful. See, there's so many things you've said today that have really picked, and I just feel like your story is fantastic, and a lot of grace has been on you. And I feel like the hard work you also put out there is not even a joke. Like that's like number one even. But it's time for you like games.
Can we just keep talking?
I know I've been enjoying the conversation. I know, right? But no, we cannot. We have to do the games.
So disclaimer: I've been up since 2 a.m. So the brain is not as
no. You're intelligent.
sharp as it
You're
should be.
intelligent. It's fine. So we're gonna go on a quick break, and when we come back, it's MTN Career Series, and we're gonna do some games with Okiki right here. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. It's still MTN Career Series, and I've been having a fantastic conversation with Okiki right here. Beautiful. High five. This is like one of my best conversations on the show.
This
actually.
next segment, just disclaimer or caveat, whatever the case is, have mercy.
Okay,
upon
no,
me.
we will. Okay, so this is called the Mogul Monikers. I'm going to give you a hint, and then you let me know if it's a person, if it's a brand, or whoever founded whatsoever.
The first one is Kayode Okikiolu.
What? No, I'm not. You're.
I'm just telling you the first. I'm joking.
Okay, so pick from number 1 to 72.
Wow,
Yeah, so just pick any number.
72.
72.
Yeah, I need you to flip all the way to the back so I can use that to rest.
Okay. Okay. Well, this Nigerian journalist and entrepreneur co-founded a major news and investigative media platform focusing on stories from across Africa. Let me go again. This Nigerian journalist and entrepreneur co-founded a major news investigative media platform focusing on stories from Africa and across Africa.
So it's either Premium Times or FIJ.
It starts from S.
S. Showere.
Okay, he got it. And what's the name of the?
Sahara.
Okay. Okay, choose another one.
71.
71. Okay. Think you like to be back. Okay, 71. Ready?
Yeah.
A Nigerian media mogul who founded one of the country's top urban TV channels.
John Mama.
No, let me finish. It's already hyping his boss. Let's go. A Nigerian media mogul who founded one of the country's top urban TV channel specializing in entertainment and lifestyle.
You forgive me. I'm too much invested in news, but let me try. TV, right?
Yeah, TV.
Was he a senator?
No, he's just like a Nigerian entertainment person.
Ben Bruce.
No.
Silverbird. No.
They play a lot of music on the station.
Hip TV.
Oh! What's his name?
Annie Marshall.
Okay, good. And I was expecting you to even for okay, you have one last one.
70.
70. Okay. Haven't you done 70?
I've not.
Okay, you've not done 70. Okay. Are you ready?
There has to be my name in there somewhere, right?
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So the hint is he studied psychology in school, but went on to become one of the greatest TV presenters in Africa.
Sigmund Freud.
You're joking.
I'm joking, of course. Kayode. That has to be me.
It's the way,
Thank you.
It's the way I said you're joking, right? Okay, that was a good one.
3 out of 3.
3 out of 3. Woo! That was a good one. But guess what? Let me tell you, I formed that last question.
I know. Thank you very much. My family is proud of you. We're
so
grateful.
We have this one. So you're gonna put it together and tell me what it is. So this is lipstick, umbrella, microphone, and the umbrella. Yeah. So she uses a lipstick, and then she sings, and then you're under the umbrella.
Rihanna?
Yeah.
Because she has that brand, the makeup brand.
So
right?
the fish. This is a fish, right? Okay, the fish.
That's a rocket, I think.
That's not a fish, right?
That's a rocket. Oh, that should be Elon Musk, right?
Okiki.
Nah, I think the rocket and the electric car, and then the crypto gave it away.
Should be a little bit hard. Okay. So a pen, a paper, and a book.
Pen, paper, book. Journalist, gentleman of the press.
The person that is writing. He's writing. The person is writing. Who is the person that is writing a book?
Is it a person?
Yeah. What the name of the person that writes a book?
An author?
Yeah.
Righty. Wait a minute. So I got everything.
You did get everything.
But you went together for him.
Oh, that was beautiful. Definitely we'll have a gift for you. But there's another very difficult one.
Oh dear.
So yeah, no, you thought you were done? No, we just
done.
started. Okay, so we're gonna go on another short break, and when we come back, we do another acronyms. This one might be quite difficult. You think that you're a boss, yeah? I'm gonna humble you right here. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Alright guys, it's still MTN Career Series, and now I think I want to humble Okiki right now because he's done a lot of good job, and I'm like, you know what? You cannot get everything right. So we're doing the acronyms in 30, and then this is from like business and tech. So business and tech. So are you ready? In 30 seconds.
Just a second. My daughters, if you're watching this, just know that Dad is brilliant. We'll still do your assignments together. If I miss it, please know that.
I don't have time for that. I'm about to go.
Let's do
B2B.
Business to business.
B2C.
Business to consumer.
KPI.
Your key performance indicator.
AI.
Anti-Ibidapo. Artificial intelligence.
I was about to scream. ML.
ML. What's ML?
CPC.
CPC, Consumer Protection Council. I don't know.
PPC.
PPC, people, company. I don't know. Come on, I don't know what PPC.
That was such a beautiful one. Okay,
you did not give me 30 seconds.
No.
So I have like 5 minutes because I'm at it.
But that was beautiful. For the games, you actually got everything.
I did, right? So that counts for something.
High five.
Thank you.
All right, but before you go, you inspire a lot of people. You do inspire me.
Wow.
And quite a number of people. So I just want you to look into your camera and just say something to a young guy that wants to get into media, a young guy that wants to be Okiki someday, you know, just a little word of encouragement for them.
Interesting. First, I'm honored. So I'll just say that the fact that you maybe feel undeserving, you feel like you will measure up, you feel like you're not perfect for that job, I think it means you're maybe perfect for it, right? So I'm small, I have a voice, and then I get into rooms and I'm like, how did I get here? But never doubt yourself. You can doubt yourself a little bit, but don't doubt yourself for too long. Hey.
Right. Don't doubt yourself for too long. So if you're out there, you want to, be one of the best, be like Okiki, just know that you need to be audacious as well and not doubt yourself. Thank you so much. This has been an amazing conversation. I like how real you were. I like how open you were, and I'm sure that it's going to, what's up? What's up? Is everything good?
I miss my scooter. I've not turned it on in a few days, but I'm sick.
Okay, can I go on the scooter with you? With Madam, of course, with her permission.
You can learn to ride a scooter, yeah.
But the scooter, is it expensive?
It's not. Depends on what you're looking for.
So how much can I get it for?
So it depends on what you want. If you want an electric scooter,
I
have a gasoline scooter. It's very tiny.
So that's like how much?
You could get it for less than $1 million if you're buying used. If you're buying new,
it's expensive. I don't have that amount. But anyway, it's been a fantastic time. Thank you so much. Not to worry. Next week we're back again. It's MTN Career Series. We bring you change makers and we reform your thinking right here on the show. My name is Ray Abdul, and I'll definitely catch you next week. Don't forget to stay yellow.